Hey guys, welcome to Schopfield Music. We're going to continue on another Tuesday Gear Day video, going through the Kemper and the Kemper Remote.
Espresso time. Cheers.
One more time.
You hear that? If we're not having fun, we're not doing it right.
Hey guys, welcome to Schopfield Music. I'm Napoleon. Got another Tuesday Gear Day for you. Last video that I put out for you, we unboxed and started hooking up the Kemper Remote to the Kemper Profiler. A lot of things we can do with that. I'm going to go through some of the basics on how to configure everything in the system and get the remote to work. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, well, the first thing I'm going to do is turn on the Kemper. Turning on the Kemper will turn on the remote. The remote itself doesn't require any external power. It gets its power right from the profiler, so that's great. As you can see, the remote is not on yet, but the profiler is on. Profiler is on, the remote is starting to turn on. Takes a minute for it to connect, but you'll see it light up. The Kemper is still loading. Kemper is on. And there, the remote is on. So the remote is on, and we have the expression pedal connected. The expression pedal has two outputs, output 1 and output 2. Both of these outputs are connected into the remote. Output 1 is connected with a stereo cable, TRS cable, and that is connected into input number 5 on the remote. Output 2 of the expression pedal is connected with a mono cable into output 6 of the remote, or pedal 6 of the remote. And they can be connected into any inputs on the remote or the actual Kemper, but those are the two closest to where the pedal is at. The reason it requires two inputs, the stereo input is going to control the wah or other effects that the expression pedal will use. And the mono cable, which is going into pedal 6 right now, only controls the on-off switch on the controller, on the expression pedal, the stomp, to turn it on and off. Okay, so what we can do with the Kemper connected to the remote is the remote itself can control going up and down your banks of profiles and selecting different profiles. I'll show you how that's done. Okay, so right now I am on the browser mode of the Kemper, but we still have a ton of different profiles in there, and there's a bank up and down which you can select on the remote to go through more profiles. And you would just select which one you want to go to by the 1 through 5. It changes on the remote and on the screen. It also shows you which amp you're on. The remote has 4 effect stomps. You can program these to be any of the things you want on there. And depending on what kind of effect it is, it'll show highlight in a different color. Right now I've got stomp effect 4 controlling the delay, which shows up in green. When I stomp on it, you get a white light underneath telling you it's on. That corresponds with the delay on the remote, on and off. To program an effect, obviously you would go in to the Kemper and select what kind of effect you'd want. And to assign it to your remote, you simply would hold the button on the profiler and then select which stomp you want to use by pushing that down. And it's as simple as that. It is now assigned to this effect, stomp number 1. I can turn it on and off. If I wanted to assign 2 effects to the same stomp, I can do that. Again, simply by having the one held down and then putting another one on there. Now I have both of them on there. This particular configuration, I've got them both to turn on or both to turn off. Perhaps you want one to be on and one off, and then when you hit the stomp on the remote, it flip-flops them. You can assign it to go that way as well. So we have one on, one off. The one that's on, I will push and hold down, and then push the button on the remote. So then with that one on, we'll then select the other one off and put it on the same one. So now every time you push this one, it flip-flops from B and C being on. So there's many different ways that you can assign your effects to your stomps on the remote. Now for each profile, once you've got them assigned on here the way you want them, you're going to need to store it. So you would store and just simply replace the existing profile or make a new one. Now when you leave this amp and go back to it, your stomps are saved. The remote also has a built-in looper. And to access the looper, you would just stomp on the looper foot switch, and then you're in looper mode. Currently says it's empty. To start a loop, you would hit the record play button. Then you can stop the loop with stomp number 2. If you hit it 3 times, it erases it. You can also play it in reverse or half speed. So I will show you now real quickly with the guitar here how the loop works. Okay, right now we're playing through an AC30 Vox amp profile. It has the delay on right now. We'll turn the delay off. Trailing. To turn the delay on or off, I could push delay on the profiler itself here, or I've got it currently programmed to be on stomp 4. So to access the loop on the remote, you click on the looper stop, and then you have to push with your foot typically, stop 1, which is record and play. And then hit it again to let the loop begin. And stop the loop. You can play it in reverse. You can play it at half speed. And again, you just push stop 2, the stop button 3 times to erase it. You can also overdub on the loop. So there's our first track. And if we wanted to loop over that, you just click the same one again. Then it'll play them both back. Now, when the remote came to me and I hooked everything up, using the looper and overdubbing, if I changed the amp that I wanted to use, the loop that I already had recorded would change with it. I don't want that. I want to be able to put down a track, change the settings, add effects, change to a different amp, and overdub the second track on that new sound. In order to do that, you have to go into the Kemper and configure a few things. So to find that, you go into your system setting, and you can go left and right on your pages. You go to page 12, and one of the options up here is the looper location, and it can be either input or output. Input apparently means that the loop will change sounds as you change profiles. Output, which is where I have it set on, allows you to keep the loop in the sound you recorded it in, change your profile, add effects, whatever you want to do, and then play over it that way. So once you have that set up, that should be universal for all your profiles. So again, in looper mode, you would go ahead and record your loop. Oops, wrong button. Let's try that again. Alright, so there's the first loop. Now, to get out of the looping function of the remote, you just simply click the looper button again. And you can do that while the loop's going on so that you can change your settings. So I click the looper button. Now I'm back in to be able to change amps. Right now I'm in the same amp. But I could change the effects that I wanted. Or I could change amps completely to something completely different. No, I haven't gone in and put these effects into a stomp on this one. And I can record that. By going back into the looper mode and then overdubbing. And then they will both be there. And so we wanted another sound on there. So the looper works. So right now the expression pedal has been programmed in here to control volume. So I can do swells. And let's put a wah on here. I'm putting it into input stomp D right now. Okay. Okay, so right now stomp D has got a wah effect on it. Now, right now, the expression pedal is just controlling volume. But if I stomp down on it, there's a stomp, that will trigger to turn on the effect that's in effect D on the Kemper, which is the wah. So, stepping down on it turns it on. And that's the wah. And then obviously stepping on it again turns it off. And the pedal is just a volume pedal again. Okay, programming the Kemper to use the expression pedal is a little tricky. You have to go into the system setting. And you page over until you find the pedal inputs from either your remote or your Kemper profiler that you're plugged into. So I'm in pedal 5. Pedal 5 is the stereo cable, which is actually doing the expression. So that needs to be, for mode, pedal type 1. And for my functioning, I have it as a wah function. There's a calibrate. And then to calibrate it, you just simply rock heel to toe. And then you'll page over to the next input. Pedal 6 on the remote is the mono cable, and that's the stomp. So for the mode for that, it's just a mono switch. And for your type of switch tip, I am doing stomp D on and off. And then you can just simply exit, those will be saved. Once you have that set up, that saves in the system, and that is universal. However, for each profile, you need to ensure that you've got something in stomp D to turn on and off that the expression pedal can control, such as a wah. And if you want to put that in stomp A or wherever, that's fine to do so as well. You just need to have it where you need it. You'll need to go in if you want to use your expression pedal to do two things, such as volume and wah. You need to go into the rig, right here, right system. It's rig, and you will page through until you get to your volume pedal settings. And right here, it's a simple button you can select that says wah pedal to volume. If it's selected, that means that your volume pedal will turn into a wah pedal when you stomp onto it. That does stay universal as well for all your rigs, I believe. So that's a quick walkthrough of how to set up some of the things on the remote so they work on the profiler. A lot to do. I got to go through all my profiles now and set up the effects and everything to turn on and off with the remote. Well, I hope you found that helpful or useful. If you have a Kemper, I suggest having the remote to go with it. I'm very excited to get into mine, and well, if you do have one of these, why don't you leave me a comment, let me know what you think of it. As always, please like, subscribe, and bell it, yo. We appreciate that, and until next time, I've been Napoleon. Cheers. Thanks for checking out Schopfield Music here on YouTube.
We really appreciate your, oh man, messed it up. I was trying to think of the word I wanted to use. So I was trying to be professional.
What word would that be?
Not in my nose, that's for sure.
Do you feel like I'm sitting kind of close to you?
I feel a little too close.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
It is weird. But we have to, you know, we're tight on camera space here, so things
That
are...
way the videos show up over here and they don't block us.
That's right. We don't want to be blocked.
Yeah.
I don't like being blocked. I don't mind being copyrighted. I just don't want to be blocked.
I hear that.